The room fell silent. Nicholas stood frozen by the door, his eyes locked on Lisa's. Her lips were trembling, her eyes red and watery. The guilt in her face said everything before a single word was spoken. Derek's voice broke the silence. "What's going on here, Nicholas?" Nicholas couldn't breathe. His mind screamed to say something, anything, but the truth was standing between them, beating loudly in his chest. He had fallen in love with Lisa, his best friend's girlfriend. It wasn't supposed to happen. He had fought it, prayed it away, tried to pretend it was nothing. But love, real love, doesn't always ask for permission. And now, standing in front of Derek, it felt like the whole world was about to crash. Lisa tried to speak, her voice shaking. "Derek, Don't," Nicholas whispered. "Please, Lisa, don't say anything." Derek's jaw tightened, his eyes burning with anger and confusion. "What did you do, Nick?" Nicholas Ease was the kind of guy everyone trusted. He had a warm smile, soft brown eyes, and a quiet strength that made people feel safe. He grew up in a small town in southern Nigeria before moving to the city of Lagos for university. His parents taught him 3 things: honesty, humility, and kindness. Derek Okafor was his best friend, more like a brother. They had met in their first year of college when they both failed a chemistry test and laughed about it instead of crying. Since then they had shared everything: dreams, meals, and sometimes even the same pair of sneakers when one was broke. Derek was the loud one, full of energy and ideas. He was the type who could make a stranger laugh in 2 minutes. He had charisma, confidence, and a big heart. Nicholas admired him deeply. Then came Lisa Johnson, beautiful, smart, and kind. She had the kind of beauty that wasn't just about looks. Her smile could light up a room. Her laughter was soft, the kind that stayed in your head long after she left. Nicholas met her one Sunday after church. Derek had brought her along, holding her hand proudly. "Bro, meet my girl," Derek said. "Lisa Johnson, the most amazing woman in the world." Nicholas smiled politely, shaking her hand. "Nice to meet you, Lisa." She smiled back, and something strange happened in that moment. A small spark, the kind that starts quietly but grows if not stopped. Weeks turned into months and the 3 became inseparable. Lisa was around almost every weekend. They studied together, cooked together, even played games late into the night. Nicholas kept his feelings hidden, convincing himself it was just admiration. But love doesn't always stay silent. It started with the small things: how Lisa laughed at his jokes more than anyone else, how she asked him for advice when Derek was busy, how she texted him late at night saying, "You're such a good listener, Nick." He tried to ignore it. He reminded himself, she's Derek's girl. She's off limits. But hearts don't follow rules. One evening, the 3 of them had dinner together at Derek's apartment. After the meal, Derek left to pick up a call outside. It was just Nicholas and Lisa sitting across the table. The power went out, and the room went dark except for the soft light from Lisa's phone. She smiled. "You're really something, Nick. Always calm. Always kind. Derek's lucky to have you as a friend." Nicholas looked up, his heart pounding. "He's lucky to have you too." Their eyes met, and for a second too long. Neither spoke. The silence between them said more than words ever could. Then Derek walked back in, laughing about something his cousin had said, completely unaware of the storm building right in front of him. Days later, Lisa called Nicholas, crying. "Derek didn't show up for my birthday dinner. He forgot." Nicholas went to her apartment with a small cake. "Happy birthday," he said softly. She smiled through tears. "You didn't have to." "I wanted to," he replied. They sat together, eating in silence. She leaned her head on his shoulder, whispering, "You're always there, Nick, always." His heart raced. He could smell her perfume, feel her warmth. Every moral thought screamed don't, but every emotion whispered just this once. When she lifted her head, their eyes locked again. Slowly, without words, they leaned closer, until the sound of her phone ringing broke the moment. It was Derek. Lisa's hands trembled. She answered, pretending everything was fine. "Yes, babe. Nicholas just dropped by to say happy birthday." Nicholas stood up, pretending to check his watch. "I should go." "Nick, wait," she said softly. He paused by the door. "Lisa, we can't." But she looked at him, tears filling her eyes. "I know. I just don't want to lose the only person who truly sees me." He walked away that night, but his heart stayed behind. Nicholas tried to avoid Lisa after that. He focused on work, gym, anything to stay busy. But Derek kept inviting him over. "Bro, Lisa misses you," he'd say with a grin. Every visit became harder. Every smile from Lisa became heavier. He started seeing signs, her glances, the quiet moments when their eyes met while Derek talked. The tension was growing. Then one Friday evening, Derek asked Nicholas to help surprise Lisa with a proposal plan. Nicholas froze. A proposal? Yeah, bro, Derek said excitedly. I'm buying the ring tomorrow. You'll help me pick it? You're the only one I trust to get it right. Nicholas forced a smile. Of course, man. Anything for you. That night he couldn't sleep. He lay on his bed, staring at the ceiling, guilt eating away at him. How could he help his best friend propose to the woman he secretly loved? 2 weeks later it happened. Derek had planned a quiet dinner at Lisa's apartment to talk about the proposal idea with Nicholas before making it official. But when he arrived early, something felt off. The lights were dim and he could hear voices from inside. He pushed the door open and saw Lisa and Nicholas sitting too close, her hand resting on his. What's going on here, Nicholas? And that's where everything shattered. Lisa's face went pale. Nicholas stood frozen. The room filled with silence heavy enough to crush them all. And just when Nicholas tried to speak, Derek took one step forward, eyes full of fire. Derek's hand shook. Lisa tried to stand, but he raised his palm sharply. Don't move. His voice was calm, but that calm was more dangerous than shouting. Nicholas swallowed hard, trying to speak. Derek, please, it's not what you think. Derek turned to him slowly, his eyes glistening. Then what is it, Nick? Because from where I'm standing, it looks exactly like betrayal. Lisa's eyes filled with tears. Derek, please let me explain. He laughed bitterly. Explain? You want to explain why my best friend is here in my girlfriend's apartment while I'm planning to propose? The words hung heavy in the air. Nicholas lowered his gaze, shame washing over him like a wave. I didn't plan this, Nicholas said quietly. I swear I didn't. Derek took a step closer, his fists clenched. Then what were you doing, Nick? Praying together? Or planning my funeral? Lisa gasped. Derek. But before anything else could be said, Nicholas picked up his bag and walked out. He couldn't stand there anymore. He couldn't face the friend who had once called him brother. Outside, the rain poured heavily. The sky looked angry, the streets blurred through the tears he didn't want to admit were his own. For days none of them spoke. Derek ignored Nicholas' calls. Lisa didn't show up to work. The silence became heavier than the fight itself. Nicholas stayed indoors, barely eating. His roommate Chuka noticed. Guy, Chuka said one night, you look like someone who lost his whole family. Nicholas tried to smile. Maybe I did. Chuka frowned. Is it about that girl again? Nicholas said nothing. He didn't need to. Chuka already knew. Nick, you're one of the good ones. Don't let this destroy you. Sometimes good people make bad choices. What matters is how you fix it. Nicholas looked up, his eyes tired. But how do you fix something you broke with love? Chuka sighed. By starting with honesty. You owe Derek the truth even if it hurts. Meanwhile, Lisa sat on her bed, hugging her pillow. Her phone buzzed constantly, Derek's name never appeared. She replayed the moment in her head over and over. She hadn't kissed Nicholas. She hadn't said she loved him. But the look they shared that day told the truth louder than words ever could. When her friend Sandra came over, Lisa broke down. I didn't mean to fall for him, Sandra. He was just kind. He listened when Derek didn't. Sandra sighed. Lisa, kindness isn't always love. Sometimes it's just comfort. You have to figure out what you really want before you destroy everything. Lisa wiped her eyes. It's already destroyed. A week later, Derek finally called Nicholas. The message was short. Meet me at the old cafe by 5. Nicholas arrived early, heart racing. The cafe smelled of coffee and rain. Derek walked in, still wearing the same jacket from that night. He sat down, not saying a word. Nicholas spoke first. Derek, I'm sorry. Derek didn't look up. Do you love her? Nicholas froze. The question hit like a punch. I care about her. But I never meant to. Derek slammed his hand on the table. Answer me. Nicholas looked him straight in the eyes. Yes, I think I do. Derek exhaled slowly, his voice breaking. I trusted you, Nick. You were like a brother. Nicholas' eyes filled with tears. I still am, Derek. I never wanted this. Derek shook his head. You say that, but feelings don't come from nowhere. You should have told me. I didn't know how, Nicholas whispered. Derek stood up. You should have tried. He left without another word. Nicholas sat there for hours, the untouched coffee growing cold. That night, Lisa finally got a text from Derek. It said, we need to talk. Tomorrow. 8 p.m. Her heart sank. Was it over? Was he going to forgive her? When she arrived, Derek's expression gave her no answers. Lisa, he began softly, I don't even know how to feel anymore. Lisa reached for his hand but he pulled away. I've been thinking, he said. Maybe this is God's way of showing me something. Maybe I wasn't listening. Maybe I stopped being the man you needed. Tears rolled down her cheeks. Derek, I never stopped caring about you. He nodded slowly. I know. But you cared about him too. Lisa froze. The truth she had buried inside her chest was now standing in front of her, staring her down. Derek sighed. I just need time. For now, please don't contact me. Either of you. He stood up, handed her the small box he'd planned to use for the proposal and walked out. When Lisa opened it, there was no ring, only a folded note. It said, You broke something I can't fix. Days turned into weeks. Nicholas stopped going out, stopped smiling, stopped being himself. He volunteered at a community center just to keep his mind busy, helping children with homework, fixing computers, anything to stay away from his thoughts. One afternoon, a little boy asked him, Uncle Nick, why are you sad? Nicholas smiled weakly. Because sometimes we hurt the people we love. The boy frowned. Then say sorry. That's what my mummy says. Nicholas nodded. You're right. Maybe I still can. That night, he picked up his phone and texted Lisa. We need to talk. Not about us. About doing the right thing. Lisa replied instantly, Okay. Tomorrow after work. He exhaled, closing his eyes. He didn't know if the meeting would fix anything, but he knew one thing. He had to stop running. The next evening, Nicholas arrived early at the cafe. Lisa wasn't there yet. He sat near the window watching the rain fall again, just like that night everything went wrong. Then his phone buzzed, an unknown number. He answered. Hello. A deep voice spoke. Is this Nicholas Ease? Yes, who's this? This is Officer Chinidu from Lagos State Police. We need you to come down to Victoria Station immediately. It's about your friend Derek Okafor. Nicholas frowned. Derek? What happened? The officer's tone was serious. There's been an accident. He was found unconscious near the bridge. Nicholas froze. No, this can't be real. The officer continued, Sir, we found a letter in his car with your name on it. Nicholas's phone slipped from his hand as his heart began to race. He rushed out of the cafe, rain pouring hard, sirens echoing in the distance. And as he ran through the storm toward the unknown, one question haunted him. What did Derek write in that letter? The hospital smelled of medicine and fear. Nicholas rushed through the corridor, rain dripping from his clothes, his heart pounding so loud it drowned out every sound. Sir, you can't go in there, a nurse shouted. But he didn't stop. He pushed the door open. Derek lay on the bed, motionless, tubes running across his body. His face was pale, lips dry, his strong, bright friend now barely breathing. Nicholas froze. Derek, he whispered. A doctor approached quietly. He's in a coma. We're still trying to stabilize him. Nicholas' knees gave way and he sank into the chair beside the bed. How did this happen? The doctor sighed. His car lost control near 3rd Mainland Bridge. We found a letter on the passenger seat with your name on it. He handed Nicholas a small, damp envelope. The paper was stained by rain, but his name was still clear, to Nicholas Ease. Nicholas' hands shook as he opened it. Inside were only a few lines written in Derek's handwriting. If you're reading this, Nick, it means I couldn't say what I wanted in person. You took something from me, but maybe you didn't mean to. Still, I can't keep pretending everything's fine. I need to get away before I do something worse. Please take care of her. Nicholas blinked hard, his chest tightening. Take care of her? Was Derek leaving? Or was this goodbye forever? Minutes later, Lisa burst into the room. Her hair was wet, her eyes swollen from crying. Nicholas, she gasped. Is he? Nicholas stood up slowly, showing her the letter. He left this. She read it silently, her tears falling harder. He didn't mean to hurt himself, he must have been so angry. Nicholas clenched his fists. This is my fault. I should have gone after him that day. Lisa grabbed his hand. Don't say that. You didn't make him drive into that bridge. Nicholas pulled his hand away. But I made him feel betrayed. I broke the one friendship that meant the world to me. Lisa shook her head. No, Nick. Love isn't something you control. We didn't plan this. He looked at her, eyes burning. That's exactly the problem, Lisa. We didn't plan it, but we didn't stop it either. For a moment, they stood there in silence, the sound of the rain mixing with the slow beeping of Derek's heart monitor. Nicholas remembered the day before everything changed. They had gone to the beach together, him, Derek, and Lisa. The air smelled like salt, laughter filled the breeze. Derek had thrown sand at him, shouting, "You think you're faster than me, Nick? Come race." Nicholas had laughed, running after him. Lisa watched them, smiling, taking pictures. At that moment, everything had been perfect. 3 friends, no secrets, no guilt. Just sunshine and laughter. But even then, Nicholas had caught Lisa's gaze lingering on him. Just for a second. Just long enough to plant a seed of something that would grow into regret. Lisa sat beside Derek, holding his hand. "Please wake up," she whispered. "I'm sorry. We're all sorry." Nicholas stood by the window, staring at the dark sky. "What if he never wakes up?" Lisa turned to him, voice trembling. "Then we live with this forever." Nicholas felt tears roll down his face. "I'd give anything to undo it." The next morning the doctor came in quietly. "There's something you both need to know," he said. Lisa stood up instantly. "Did he wake up?" The doctor shook his head. "No, not yet. But we ran more tests. The impact caused head trauma. Even if he wakes up, there's a chance he might not remember everything." Lisa gasped. "What do you mean?" "He could lose parts of his memory, days, weeks, even people." Nicholas' heart sank. People? What if Derek woke up and didn't even remember him? Or worse, remembered only the betrayal? The doctor left them in silence. Lisa buried her face in her hands, and Nicholas felt a sharp ache deep inside his chest. That night, Nicholas sat by Derek's bedside reading a small Bible he found in the hospital chapel. He wasn't very religious, but the words gave him something, hope or maybe punishment. Lisa came in quietly, sitting beside him. "Do you believe he'll wake up?" Nicholas nodded. "He's too stubborn not to." She smiled faintly. "He used to tell me you were like his guardian angel. Said you always had his back." Nicholas sighed. "I guess angels fall too." Lisa placed a hand on his arm. "Nick, you're a good man. You made a mistake, but your heart isn't evil. Maybe this is how we learn." He looked up at her, his voice low. "Then what do we do now?" Lisa hesitated. "We take care of him. We wait. And we pray." Derek remained in a coma, but the doctors said he was stable. Lisa visited daily, often bringing flowers. Nicholas visited in the evenings after work, sometimes staying late into the night. One evening, as Nicholas read aloud from a book Derek used to love, he noticed something. Derek's fingers twitched. He leaned closer. "Derek? Can you hear me?" Lisa rushed over. "What happened?" His hand moved. Nicholas exclaimed. "They called the nurse, who confirmed it." "That's a good sign. It means he's responding." Lisa smiled through her tears. "He's coming back, Nick?" Nicholas nodded, but deep inside, fear began to grow. If he wakes up, what will he remember? 3 days later, Derek opened his eyes. Lisa was the first to notice. "Derek?" she whispered. His lips moved slowly. "Where am I?" She burst into tears. "You're in the hospital. You had an accident. You're safe now." Nicholas stood frozen at the corner of the room, afraid to move. Derek's eyes shifted toward him. He frowned, confused. "Who's that?" Lisa turned to Nicholas, her face going pale. "Derek, that's Nicholas." Derek blinked. "Nicholas?" He shook his head slightly. "I don't know him." Nicholas felt his world collapse. Lisa reached for Derek's hand. "It's okay. You've just forgotten some things. He's your best friend." Derek looked at Nicholas again, this time suspiciously. "If he's my friend, why do I feel angry?" Nicholas stepped back, speechless. Lisa looked between them, terrified. "Derek, please just rest. Don't think too hard." But it was too late. The tension had returned to the room like a ghost that refused to die. As the nurse ushered them out, Nicholas turned to Lisa. "He doesn't remember me, but his heart does. He can still feel it." Lisa nodded slowly. "And that means?" Nicholas looked at her, fear and guilt battling inside him. "It means if he remembers everything, Lisa, he might never forgive us." Lisa looked back through the glass at Derek lying in bed, his eyes still watching them, empty, confused but strangely alert. Then, almost in a whisper, she said, "Nick, what if he's pretending not to remember?" Nicholas froze. "What did you just say?" She stepped closer. "What if Derek remembers everything, and he's just waiting for the right moment to get back at us?" The lights flickered in the hallway. Nicholas stared at her, his pulse racing. Because deep down he felt it too. The days after Derek's awakening were filled with tension. He spoke to the nurses politely, asked Lisa how she was feeling, and even smiled at Nicholas once or twice. But behind those calm eyes, Nicholas saw something else, an awareness, a quiet knowing. Lisa tried to stay hopeful. "He's healing, Nick. Maybe it's better this way. Maybe not remembering is God's mercy. Nicholas nodded, though he didn't believe it. Every time Derek looked at him, there was something in his eyes, like he was holding back a storm. One quiet evening, Nicholas visited the hospital alone. Lisa had gone to pick up dinner. Derek was awake, sitting by the window. Nicholas took a deep breath. "Hey man, how are you feeling?" Derek turned slowly. "Better. My head still hurts sometimes." "That's normal," Nicholas replied. "The doctors said you're recovering fast." Derek nodded. "They also said memories come back in pieces." Nicholas froze. "Yeah, I heard that too." Derek looked straight into his eyes. "Strange thing is, every time I see you I feel angry. I don't know why." Nicholas tried to speak, but Derek continued. "And Lisa, every time she talks about you she looks guilty." Nicholas swallowed hard. "Derek, maybe you're remembering things slowly. It'll come together soon." Derek's gaze hardened. "Tell me something, Nick. Did I ever have a reason not to trust you?" The room fell silent. Nicholas could hear the faint ticking of the wall clock. He looked at the floor, his voice breaking. "You trusted me more than anyone." Derek's jaw tightened. "And did I make a mistake doing that?" Nicholas looked up. "No. I did." The door creaked open. Lisa stepped in holding a food bag. Her face turned pale seeing them both so tense. "Am I interrupting?" she asked softly. Derek smiled faintly. "Not at all. Come in, Lisa." She placed the food down, her hands trembling. "You should eat something." He nodded, but his eyes never left her face. "Lisa, how long have we known each other?" Lisa blinked. "Almost 3 years." "3 years," he repeated slowly. "And in those 3 years did I ever hurt you?" Tears filled her eyes. "Derek, please don't do this." He leaned forward. "Answer me." She shook her head. "No. You didn't." He sat back. "Then why did you hurt me?" Nicholas stepped forward. "Derek. Stay out of this." Derek snapped, his voice louder than it had been since the accident. Lisa broke down crying. "I didn't mean to. I was confused, lonely, and you were always busy. Nicholas was just, he was there when I needed someone." Derek laughed bitterly. "So I was supposed to thank him for keeping you company?" Nicholas stepped closer. "Derek, please. We didn't cross the line. But yes, I had feelings for her. I fought them every day. I tried to stay away, but I failed. I'm sorry." Derek's eyes softened for a moment, then darkened again. "You fell in love with my girlfriend, Nick. That's not something sorry can fix." Lisa grabbed his hand. "Derek, please. Don't let this destroy you." He looked at her, tears forming. It already did. Suddenly Derek winced, holding his head. The heart monitor began beeping rapidly. Lisa screamed, "Nurse? Help." Nicholas rushed to his side. "Derek, stay with me, bro." The doctors rushed in, pushing them both out. The next few minutes felt like forever. Lisa sobbed in the hallway, her hands shaking uncontrollably. Nicholas paced back and forth, praying under his breath. Finally the doctor stepped out. "He's stable again. But you both need to leave. He needs rest." Lisa collapsed into Nicholas' arms, crying. "I can't lose him, Nick. I can't." Nicholas held her gently, whispering, "You won't. He's stronger than this." But deep inside, guilt was burning through him like fire. A month later, Derek was discharged from the hospital and sent to a quiet countryside home for recovery. He invited neither Lisa nor Nicholas to visit. Lisa tried calling him for weeks. No answer. Nicholas sent messages that were never read. Then one morning Lisa got a letter in the mail. No name, no return address, just her own written on the front. She opened it with trembling hands. It was short and written in Derek's handwriting. "Lisa, I remember everything now. Don't worry, I'm not angry anymore. Anger only poisons the heart. I hope you find peace, and I hope Nicholas learns what love truly costs." Lisa sat there for a long time, staring at the words. Then she whispered, "He remembers." She called Nicholas immediately. "Nick, it's over. He knows." Nicholas was silent for a moment. "Did he say where he is?" "No," she said softly. "But he doesn't want us to find him." Nicholas exhaled. "Maybe that's his way of forgiving us. By letting go." Lisa wiped her tears. Or his way of saying goodbye forever. 1 year later, Nicholas moved to Abuja to start over. He worked with an NGO helping street children. He spent his days teaching kindness, talking about forgiveness, and warning young people never to play with trust. Lisa became a counselor, helping women rebuild after heartbreak. She found purpose in healing others, though her own heart still carried scars. They didn't speak again for months until one rainy evening, Nicholas got an envelope. Inside was a photo, Derek standing beside a church smiling. On the back were 5 words. I finally found my peace. Nicholas smiled faintly, tears filling his eyes. So did I, he whispered. Where are you watching from? Drop your city or country in the comments. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more emotional stories.